Hey guys, Brisen. I'm going to be profiling my Hazy Flame deck, October 2019. It's one of the most viewed decks on my channel. One that's near and dear to my heart, one of the oldest ones. I've owned it for the longest, so I hope you guys enjoy. This is updated to the new ban list, which really helped this deck. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. Start off, you run 3 Hazy Flame Hydra. This is one of the newest ones. He's got 200 defense, which makes him a rekindling target, which is super cool. I should premise this is all the Hazy Flame monsters have the ability that they can't be targeted by card effects, which is really good. When he's on the field, you only special summon fire types, and when you use him for an Exceed summon, you can take a Hazy Flame monster from your grave and add it to that card as a material, which is really important. I'll explain that to you guys later. 3 Cerberus, he's your other rekindling target. He's got 200 defense. He's a searcher of the deck. He's the only one that can be normal summon without tributing, but his attack becomes 1,000. And when he gets destroyed in any way, you can add a Hazy Flame card from your deck to hand, which is really awesome that it's cards, not a monster. It can be a monster spell or a trap for the archetype. Really cool. Next, run 3 Sphinx. Really good. You can call monster spell or trap off the deck. If you call it right, you can switch some fire type from your hand or graveyard. So this is kind of your late game combat card, which is really cool, or to help you spam board. 3 Periton. Should rescue rabbit of the deck. You can tribute this card and discard a fire and special summon 2 Hazy Flame monsters from your deck, which is really cool. Sometimes they're like a Sphinx and a Cerberus, so you have a backup if something goes wrong to search something if your opponent gets rid of it, and then 1 to special summon. Or you can do 2 Hydras, and then if you XYZ with those 2, then you'll get to do 2 Hazy Flames from your grave, and it'll be 4 materials for an Exceed summon, which is really cool. Then the last Hazy Flame monster I run is 2 Griffin. I don't run 3 because you can only special summon him if all monsters you control in your graveyard are fire. So if you start using a lot of your extra deck before you get to him, he's just a dead card, but he's like a Cyber Dragon. If your opponent controls a monster and then you meet all the other requirements, you can just special summon him. So he's just an easy either tribute fodder for everything else because all of them are level 6, or he can be used as a material. But that's it for all of the Hazy Flame monsters. Alright, next we play True King, Agnimazoo, the Vanisher. Hopefully I said that right. That name's really crazy. But you can pop 2 monsters on your hand or field and then special summon him. If both of them were fire, then you get to banish a card, and that's all that matters with the effect. He's just a 2900 beater. He's a fire, so it works with Periton and Sphinx. And he kind of helps you force your Cerberus to activate. So like if you pop your Cerberus for his effect, you'll get the search into whatever you need. He's just removal, which is really cool. I'm running 2 though because you need to pop 2 monsters, so he uses a lot of resources. So if you have 3, it's gonna be hard to use multiple copies. 1 Fire King, have target Runix. If it gets destroyed by card effect, special summon it during the next standby, and he's a Dark Hole. Works really well with the True King and a couple of the spells I'm playing in the deck. So really cool. He's a fire. Then you play like a little bit of Erratic Engine. 3 Tefnuit. It's Cyber Dragon. If you don't control any monsters, your opponent controls 1. You can special summon it. It's a level 6, which is important because you can use it to Exceed summon. And if this gets tributed, you can special summon a normal dragon from your deck, make its attack 0, defense 0. So you play 1 Taiho number 2. Old card, but he's fits perfectly. He's a level 6 and he's a fire and it's a dragon, so you can bring him out. You can use him as XYZ material. He's a fire, so under Griffin it's fine, under Hydra it's fine, and you can use him to play their boss monster. So you could special summon him, use him as tribute fodder, and then get another monster to Exceed summon with. And the last monster I run is my tech card, 1 Flameville Baby. His effect usually isn't relevant, but you can still use it sometimes. During the main phase, you can send him to the graveyard from your hand, and 1 fire monster you control gains 400 attack. So you can make something a little bit more beefier, but what really matters is he's a rekindling target and a tuner, so you can go into some level 7 synchro plays with him if you bring him back with Sphinx or rekindling. That's it for the monsters. On to the spells. Play 3 Onslaught of the Fire Kings. This card's super important in the deck. You can specialist if your opponent controls a monster and you don't control any. So obviously this deck is a going second deck. It's because I forgot to say at the start of the video. You can special summon a Fire Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast from the deck. Its effects are negated and it gets destroyed. So you can special summon Tribute Fodder, you can special summon your Garunix, and it'll get destroyed, and then get its graveyard effect, because this only negates effects on field, which is really important. So like if you play your Runics or even like Cerberus off the effect and then you just let them die, when they get destroyed, they'll still get their graveyard effects. Like you'll still get to search off Cerberus, or you'll get to bring back a Runics and blow up their board, which is cool. So if nothing else, you can play your Cerberus, attack into something, let it die and search. But it's cool. 3 Hazy Pillar, spell card for the archetype. Let you normal summon them without tributing, which is really important. Secondary effect comes up sometimes. You can use Hazy flame monsters from your field or your hand and attach it to an XYZ monster as a material. So it helps you beef up the boss monster for the deck, or helps you give more materials to the one that you're using. Konami seems to really like this deck. I really think this deck can't do a lot because they brought Stormforth back to 3, so we're playing 3 of that. It's basically just like Soul Exchange on crack. You contribute your opponent's monster, and it doesn't target for a summon. So since all the monsters in the archetype are level 6, you can distribute their monster and then summon one of your Hazy Flames. So it's spot removal, doesn't target, and it lets you summon them. And it's a spell. You're trying to stick with just spells in the deck. I don't run any traps, so then it's easier to call your Sphinx effect, either monster or spell. And typically you run through the monsters fast at Parryton, so you just call spell. And then I'm glad this card got reprinted. I play 3 Celestial Observatory. You can shuffle level 6 from your hand or field to the bottom of the deck, and then draw 2 cards. So this is just your consistency of the deck. It helps you put back bricks, and all the monsters are level 6 that you run besides, the True King, Garunix, and the baby. So you have a lot of targets, and it's just a free draw too, and it's a spell. And then what really made me excited to play the deck again is they brought Rekindling back up to 3. So this is basically Soul Charge with none of the downsides. You can still attack that turn. You don't have to pay life points. The other thing is you can only special summon as many monsters with 200 or less defense from your grave. And that is Cerberus, Hydra, and Baby. So let's say you have like 3 Hydras and 2 Cerberuses in grave. You can bring all of them back with 1 card and either OTK your opponent or exceed someone with it. So it's really good. Having 3 Soul Charges is awesome. It's amazing. But that card came back for this deck. So, because when I first started playing it, this card was at 3 and the deck was like really good with Hippogriff and Cerberus. I just replaced Hippogriff with Hydra now because it's better. But yeah, the last couple spells, 2 Twin Twisters because you really don't like back row. Like you want your plays to go off. Discarding them to the grave really doesn't hurt you because you can bring them back with Rekindling. But that's why I run that. I feel like 3 is too much though, because there's some decks where if you play back row removal, you really don't need it. So instead of having 3 dead cards, just have 2, and you'll still see it enough side the 3rd. And the last spell I'm running, last card of the deck, is 1 Monster Reborn, just because it's legal now, and it's cool to be able to just reborn like your Sphinx and then reborn another Hazy or anything you need. That's it for the deck. It is 40 cards onto the extra deck. Main monster, the extra deck, 2 Hazy Flame Vassal Trace, because I'm kind of strapped for space, which I never thought would be something I'd say with this deck, but it was kind of hard to fit in a 3rd copy, but I don't really know if you need one, like a 3rd copy, but this is why Hydra's effect matters to pillars. You can do 5 materials max on him. He gains effects equal to the number of materials. So his regular effect is that you detach a monster and banish 1 monster your opponent controls. Doesn't matter if it's set or face up. It's just spot removal. Then if you have 3 or more, he gains 200 attack and defense for each material. 4 or more, he can't be targeted and has all the other effects. 5 or more, he can't be destroyed by card effects and then gets a rest. So if you get 5 materials on him, let's say you had a Griffin and 2 Hydras, you overlay all 3, and then Hydra's effect adds 2 more materials. That gives him 5. So then he'll gain 1,000 attack, and he can't be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So 3,500, that's basically invincible. It's pretty great. And so that's good. That's why, but he can only do fire monsters, so that's why Tyhone is really important to be fire. Then for other exceeds, I play 1 Strike Bouncer just because certain situations, just being able to sit on him to make sure you'll win by negating monster effects is cool. During your player's turn, when a monster effect activates, on your opponent's side, you can detach immaterial and negate that activation and deal 1,000. So it's pretty good, especially like in time. That's good too. 1 Vampire Sheridan. I really like this guy. You can do 2+ level 6 monsters. What's really cool is Let me make sure I read this right, because he's got a lot, and this is a newer one that I've been running. But you can send you can detach one and then send a monster that your opponent controls to the graveyard, which is cool. And then if he's face up and a monster gets sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can special summon to your side of the field. So it's almost kind of like a snatch steal. You get your opponent's monster, and it's spot removal. And with rekindling, you could make him like a 5 material and just continue using his effect. Next one I run is one number C5 Chaos Chimera Dragon. Gains 1,000 for each material. During the battle phase, after he attacks once, you can detach one and attack again. So let's say you use 5 materials off rekindling. He's a 5,000 that can attack twice. You can also detach 2 materials at the end of the battle phase and set a card from your grave back on top of the deck. So like you can reuse your rekindling off of that, which is cool. It's kind of like a game ender. And what's cool about rekindling is you can use it more than once per turn. So after you make him with 5 materials, you can bring back all 5 again. Super busted. For your level 7s, for the baby, 1 Black-Rose Dragon Bloat board, and 1 Odd Eyes Meteor Burst. They're both fire, so it sticks with Griffin, and he stops monster effects in battle phase, which is cool. So, these are nice cards to have. Onto the links, you play 1 Doolittle Chimera. All fire monsters gain 500, so just beast them up. Just takes 2 fires. 1 Heat of the Fire Charmer Ablaze, because if you play against Salamagrates, when she's link summoned, you can special summon one of their monsters to the zone she points to. So it's an instant link 3. You play the Nightmares. 1 Cerberus to pop monsters. Phoenix to pop Spiller Traps. Nightmare to spin a card. Unicorn to spin a card. And your Phoenix is fire, so it sticks with the theme. 1 Power Code Talker, because he's a fire, and he's kind of like spot removal. He can negate a monster effect and then gain the attack of a card he's pointing to, so it kind of just helps you beat over a big boss monster. It's cool. Boros Sword just to end games. Then 1 Mech Knight Crusade Avermax. I really like his art. He's like one of my favorite Link monsters. You can't target anybody else but him for attack, so if you make a big board with rekindling and end on him with another card, he'll protect him. And then when he attacks a monster, he'll, especially a monster, I believe, he'll gain that monster's attack, so he's kind of like an Honest, which is really cool. But yeah, that's it for the extra deck. 15 cards. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. I finally got to profile it for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys got any suggestions, just let me know. Like I said, the extra deck was tight, so if there's any other options, you can give me suggestions, and I'll see if I should run them. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you later.